Welcome
To
to
Shade in the
Shade
City.
in the City. Sounds froggy in the city, but it's Shade in the City. I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and she's back, y'all. She
I'm
didn't.
back.
Y'all thought because I was recording by myself that she left for the 7M cult, but she didn't. She
I
didn't.
didn't.
She
I just
did.
left for vacation and now I'm
Yeah,
back.
yeah. She
Just
ain't dancing.
I
She
just
ain't
left my
dancing
voice.
with the devil. She
I
ain't
left
dancing.
my voice there on vacation. But I think it'll be back soon. I think it's gonna catch a flight soon.
Maybe she was dancing with the devil. But anyway, so thank y'all for being here for a little later than normal recap of the love and the marriage in the Huntsville. I can't even say the number one city in America anymore, but love and marriage Huntsville. This is season 8, episode 6, and it got something to do with Tisha.
No more nice Tish.
No more drunk Tish. Okay, that's what it should have been. But yeah,
She
y'all.
was on that liquid courage for sure.
A lot of people said that she had a lot of liquid courage. So yeah, we want to jump right into it because as y'all all know, if you have watched the episode or seen other recaps, you already know it wasn't it wasn't much. It wasn't, but we'll get into that. So y'all, please make sure if you do anything, you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button because we almost at 1K. So help
Yes.
us get there.
Please help us. Help us. Help you. Well, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
It helped them too.
And by the way, for all of those that want to jump in the chat, all of our subscribers, members, I did upload our personal badges and emojis. So you can drop in the comments with your shade squad, with your sipping shade, all those cute little things. So yeah, let's do that. Let's keep us growing and glowing. And if anything, let's get into this episode and let's get shady. So yeah, y'all.
It's dance for the devil.
Oh, well, anyway, the reason I keep bringing that up is because this one pulled me down the rabbit hole. Her and Really B pulled me down the rabbit hole, and I was like, I'm not really gonna watch it, even though I watched,
Don't do it.
even though I watched the girl that helped get them a lot of the evidence. What is her name? Without a Crystal Ball. I do watch her, but I watch her for Sister Wives content. So I wasn't really like too deep into this. But then when Nels told me about it and was like, it's actually black people in there, I was like, oh my God. And then when I heard Really B talk about it, I said, oh my God. And so don't be surprised if we bring y'all just a quick synopsis of our thoughts and what we think about the
Did you
documentary.
watch?
Oh yes.
Oh, you did.
Yes. And I made him watch it. And he was like, this is awful.
Did you like it?
I did, but it was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
It was sad. But yeah, so we might give you a brief synopsis of our thoughts. We would love for y'all to jump down in the comments. Let us know what y'all think. Because as y'all know, this is still ongoing. This girl is still locked up. Well, I don't even want to say she locked up. She can get out, but she's not choosing to. And I think that is the sad part. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so let's get into the episode. Like I said, this wasn't much, so I'm just trying to give y'all extra, just fill in space, right? So, all right, we get into where do we start off with? Trisha and Ken, the Whisperer. So Trisha and Ken, they continue on with their conversation, which let's just be honest, we didn't really need to see this. And talking about her marital status and whether she's even interested in marrying Ken. Now, she says she does want to marry him, but is fearful because she claims her husband, wasn't the person she originally married. And she shares, and he's like, but people change. Everybody change. Like, that's natural. That's life. But to her point, I don't think he was going to change for the worse. And then she shares in confessional that while she was going through so much loss, I guess with her parents and her sister, and it was all like back to back to back, her husband was out consoling other people, which gives me Martell vibes, if you get what I'm saying. He was out consoling everybody else instead of being out
He
wearing.
was out painting other people's walls.
Well, that part. He was raw dog Charles. Anyway, so she tells him that she'll make something happen in the next few months. But when he asks her if she plans to initiate it, she tells him that he's asking a lot. And I said, well, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Why did we need to continue this conversation? I guess to know that she actually does have plans, but I don't know. Nels, do you want to give your thought?
After 5 years, I would. If you were, let me tell you something. If I met somebody that was separated for 5 years before I even started dating them, has not even.
Well, he said 2 or 3, and they've been separated for 5 because they've been together for 2. So that's what that. So that she was separated for 2 or 3 years before he even got with her, and then the other 2 is the 2 that they were together. I'm not saying to make it better. I'm just clearing it up. So nobody will jump in the chat and be like, no, that's not what it is. I'm just clearing it up.
My point still stands. And you haven't even attempted to file. Have you even seen the inside of the courthouse? You don't even know what it takes to get the divorce.
Sign them papers.
No, I would have felt like that's not something you really want to do. What's the holdup?
I agree.
And the fact that everybody think y'all still together. Why is that? If y'all ain't been together for 2 or 3 years prior to me, why would everybody think you were still together?
I don't know, because you know what's so funny? This is just a little personal stuff, but I feel like if I show up into an event and it's like my couple friends or group of friends and I show up without my person and it's just me and my son, they're going to look at me and be like, y'all good? Y'all okay? Like maybe once but after it's like once or twice, people are going to start asking questions. So the fact that
you would have definitely had to do that for 2 or 3 years.
Right. So the fact that her family, like he said, even when he goes to her family functions, they still be like looking for her husband. Like, who is he? I'm like, that's especially if y'all been dating for 2 years.
And in 2 or 3 years, you didn't tell your family that y'all were separated. Why don't they know?
It is giving weird. I think we said this before. That's all I got for them. That's all I got.
Poor baby. He said he trusts herself.
He trusts her.
So Nell.
Damn, did I forget Nell and Chris? Oh, damn sure did. I forgot.
So Nell is trying to organize
later. Oh, let me get the screen first though.
Okay. So Nell,
yes, I can add them in later when I edit it.
He's organizing her shoes. She basically told me she needed a new closet. Okay, he said, listen, baby, we're gonna make it happen.
Whatever you want. Girl, you know I can provide whatever you need. Like Chris didn't even give no hesitation. He was just like, whatever you want. Baby.
At first he said, you know what, we can give you the whole room. One of the rooms upstairs, we can make it your whole closet. She's like, no, baby, I need a closet. He said, you know, we're gonna get the contract signed. We're gonna get him.
He said, we're gonna give you the upper room, but not the upper room, but you
know. She said, don't be playing with my heart. Quit playing games with my heart, okay? He said, no.
Not Backstreet, but quit playing games with my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart.
Okay. So basically, he said, no, I ain't playing. We're going to make it happen, okay? Then she starts talking about her party and, you know, who she plans to invite. She really don't know what's going to happen with Tisha and Stormy because, you know, they had their words. Chris said it might be a good time to get them together. Okay, but she's just hoping that they don't mess up her party. But she's like, listen, I got to take whatever comes because I already know they beefing. I'm inviting them to the same spot, my party. So I got to take what it is. He says,
honestly, I know I gave Nell a lot of hell the past couple episodes. And I can appreciate that Martell was not invited because of everything going on with him and Mel. However, the way the guys were completely separate, Martell could have completely came to that event. And if he would have left Mel alone, but I don't know if there's a restraining order.
No. You know what I thought that was?
What?
You remember the last episode? Mel basically said, remember when she was with her group of friends?
Yeah.
I need to stay away from spaces that basically you got to pick a side.
Okay.
He basically said her friends gonna have to pick a side because I'm not gonna keep on putting myself in spaces where you don't have to choose, and I got to be surrounding myself with this man that I'm not getting along with. So
Mm,
I think she made Nell pick a side. I
mm.
mean, Nell already said he wasn't invited, but I think she just doubled down on it and really.
Okay, no, I can appreciate that.
So, now basically, Chris told her, regardless of what happens, regardless of how the party turns out, listen, your kids will be there, and of course, they're gonna be on their best behavior since it's your birthday.
Well, they said the kids was the one throwing the party for her.
Yeah, so that's what he said. He said, that they'll be there, okay. And she said, just because it's my birthday, I ain't never stopped him from having no drama before. Okay. Now he did mention that he tried to reach out to Lexi, but she ain't responding back, and he's like, the show must go on. Okay. At some point in time, they'll talk, they'll work through it, but I guess she don't want to talk right now.
Now we got to discuss this because we do. Oh, hey friend, hey friend, hey friend. Um, so this interview that they keep referring to, I feel like um we've seen it done on Bravo and other networks. I feel like it was messed up to continue to talk about the blogger, which is giving you the real tea, Terrence. As I always refer to him as friend because that's how you refer to everybody else. But I thought it was crazy for you to keep referencing his interview and not
Give him the recognition.
give him the recognition.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it on Bravo and things like that. And I just thought that was weird. So shout out to Terrence because he did get the interview with Lexi and she laid it out there and let her feelings be known. And I just think, I don't know if it's a Carlos thing or what they're doing because like we've seen Kempire comment on things before. And like I said, maybe it's a Bravo thing, but I just felt like that was messed up that, Terrence didn't get his credit.
They probably didn't want to give him the recognition because not that it's his fault, but that's where the information came out. That's where she said it. So it's like, I don't know what question he asked. I don't know what made her bring it out. But
let her come up there and tell her story.
Oh,
I feel like, he asked good questions.
She might feel like without him, she probably wouldn't have said nothing. Who the hell knows?
Somebody else would have took the interview,
and they probably wouldn't have gave them the recognition either.
Well, okay, to your point, but I felt like he definitely deserved it. Like I said, if Carlos so busy trying to do everything that Bravo do, and worried about what's going on in Bravo, even though he's no longer there, you could have, copied and pasted. That's all I'm saying. Because we've definitely seen Kempire on comment, like his videos when he's commenting on something that happened on Real Housewives of Potomac or Atlanta or whatever the case may be, and it goes viral and whatever. It absolutely is there. So you definitely, and especially it's a Black YouTuber content creator, and you're all about Black excellence. I just thought that was kind of messed up.
Well, thank you, Treese, for giving him
giving T his flowers. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you done. You done. Okay, you done. You said that's it. All right, now we get into the Scotts. I actually thought this was a good scene. The only thing that I did not like about this particular scene is that Maurice, and we'll get there, but I love when Courtney called him out this episode. I'm gonna just say that, but we're gonna get there. The Scotts sit down and discuss their upcoming business venture. Maurice quickly throws Kimmy under the bus and makes it known that he wants Marceau to do the work. And basically, but Kimmy has reservations based on the fact, let's just be honest, Tisha still doesn't have an office and we don't know what's going on with Scott Manor.
Or his strip mall.
Let's keep it 100. Now, she points out Marceau doesn't really get things done quickly as she would like, and she doesn't want to be annoying. No, you just want to be professional and you want to get what you pay for, and not get thrown to the side because that's your brother-in-law. Absolutely understand, because you see how he do his own damn wife. Nothing that Kimmy said, I was with Kimmy. I just didn't like how your whole husband continued to be like, well, I want, but Kimmy. And she's gonna make you compete, right?
And she called him out on that too.
Right. And so basically, she just doesn't want to cause any tension. So Marceau says that he puts the paid jobs first. Now, I kind of thought this was like a little bit of shade to Kimmy and Maurice. Like,
Oh
yeah,
no,
if you got the dollar, I'll do what you need. But if your
and
money ain't right,
that's basically wait. So I because I now I don't know how true it is, but I felt what he was saying too. He's basically saying the projects that she's referring to were projects that they were paying into. So there's no priority. But projects that we're getting paid to do, absolutely, that's going to be priority. So this would be a project that they're getting paid to do. So what he's saying is your project would be a priority because we're getting paid to do it. Of course, Maurice and Kimmy aren't getting it done for free. It would be a paid project. So he's letting them know, listen, that would be a priority because it's not something I'm paying it. He's saying Tisha's project, we're paying into that. Mom's
mm,
house, we were paying into that. It's not a priority. That's going to get set on the back burner because we have money to make over here.
mm,
So I understood what he was saying as well.
gotta love that Marceau. I do love me some Marceau.
He smooth talking. That's why I don't know how true it is.
So basically, Maurice tells them they got to submit a bid, but Ken continues to throw Kimmy under the bus and says that she's going to make them compete with everybody else, which I think that you should do with anybody, whether it be your family or otherwise. You should get different quotes. Like if you catered and I'm having an event, I would be foolish. Yes, I love you, but I would be foolish, especially if it's a major event, to not shop different people and see if I could get a different price. Now, would you might make you feel away? Now that's different, but I think that that's normal.
Mhm.
And I think, and I'm glad that Marceau understood that. Um, and then I don't know why Tisha comes in with this, making sure Marceau is wearing his wedding ring, and then he points out that he bought her an upgraded ring and that she's not wearing. And my notes say boring. You just Tisha, you didn't have nothing to add, so that's what you, because all the other little inputs that you was adding, like, well, do you want to do the job? It's a two-way street. Do you want to do the job? Of course he want money, Tisha. What? Of course he want the money. And from his brother, especially. Like that, I don't. It looks like you were just looking for moments, and it was this whole episode. You were looking for a moment, and
And
it was
I think everybody noticed it.
everybody noticed it, girl. I don't know what Real Housewives, crash course you went to, or we all say they done it. There's some. I don't know who was schooling you, but this was not it, and it. We'll get into it later. And the other
Can't pay
part,
attention to class.
but you didn't pay attention to class. All right,
All right.
going with this more scene with Courtney again.
So Ken and Courtney met up to play some ball. Apparently, they've been doing this since they was about 10 years old. I ain't even know. They grew up together. Okay. Now Ken tells Courtney that he wants to pop the question to Tish or
Now,
Tish.
I will say, I think that is funny that because he knows Trisha. Because remember, they said it's crazy we ended up together and we know so many of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, is a perfect example of that because she grew up with Courtney and Martell or whatever, and he's not even from Huntsville, so I thought,
Mm-hmm.
but he has a relationship with Courtney, so
Yeah.
they absolutely knew some of the same. And I just think it's funny that I'm like, damn, y'all really did like were around the same people and just each other.
Mm-hmm. So he said he wants to pop the question, but he's she's still married, okay, and people thinks that she's actually still in a relationship with the ex, okay, and
I want to know who the ex is. Because my thing is, what is so? I think it has, in my opinion, it has to be some money. Like I don't know if she's waiting for him to croak so she can collect something on him, like a pension or a retirement. And you said you don't have to stay married to get that, so I don't know.
mm,
But it just gives me a vibe. Well, we seen that on Love During Lockup. You don't have to wait till the person croaks to get that. So I don't know, but I don't know if you got to put a certain number of years in. Maybe she signed a prenup. I just want to know who he is, so
mm,
maybe we can try to figure out, because if he's a regular schmegula, then I'm like, Maurice, after 5 years you can definitely get that handled.
You could have got it done in less than 5 years.
She's speaking from experience.
I am. Let me tell you something. When Maurice started talking, I was like, absolutely. I would have thought you just didn't want to do it. But yeah, basically, he said, he wants to pop the question, but she's still married. People still think that she's still with this dude. And yeah, he said that they were separated for 3 or 4 years before he even came around, before he even got in the picture, okay? He said he don't want to pop the question until she got the paper signed. But he ain't waiting no 5 years. Sir, you've been waiting a little while, and
well, they only been together for 2, so he got 3 more years.
He hasn't even started the paperwork though. It's still a process.
I ain't never been through it. I ain't gonna speak to it.
Then they start talking about Galentine and how Martell was acting like he didn't know Trisha. And they both think like that was super weird because he's like, dude, like they know each other. Now he feel like Martell is trying to make it look like, they have really something going on. And he said that he told Trisha, to handle it. But, he'll step in if he feels the need to.
I wish they would quit with it. Now hear me out. I feel like I'm on the fence, and y'all can drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm not trying to reach. I feel like Carlos would have never picked up this storyline if there was not something behind it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I said this last recap. There's no reason to drive this narrative for you, Martell, nor your situation, because your situation is already weird and messy. So there would be no reason to drive the storyline or situation unless something really happened between y'all. Even if it was back in the day when y'all was young, y'all not a kid anymore, but some days you said and wish you was a kid again. Whatever. The point is that I don't think he would latch on to something. So I feel like there is something that we need to find out or know about Trisha and Martell. Ken, I don't know if he's, I hope they work out. I hope Trisha is true, but what you think, Nels?
I don't know.
Because I think Nels can tell you better than anybody. When you want to be divorced, you want to be divorced. And it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Okay.
And you don't necessarily need a lawyer. Like, of course, Maurice is gonna say you need a lawyer because he's a lawyer. But what he said? He said if you don't want to be, you don't have to stay married.
But what makes me think? That's what makes me think. That's why I want to know who he is, because it makes me think he got some money or something where he's like a public official, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what does he do that she's trying to like? But then the fact that you went on a whole TV show publicly, I don't want to say cheating because you're separated, but you understand what I'm saying? It's like that can't be good either for you. So I'm just, it's confusion for me. So then we see the sprinter ride. We get the Scotts and Stormy and Trish. So first we got Stormy, Trish, Ken, and Courtney. And they're in there talking about on the way to Nell's party. Trish says she can't wait to see Nell be
good.
Who?
Stormy.
Yeah, she looks good.
And the wig.
Oh, she looked very good. She just could have used a couple.
What?
She looks good. She looks good.
Use a couple what?
I just think that I think that her outfit was okay. I just think that the cup size should have been like I felt like I was getting nipple and I didn't need nipple.
I loved it.
I know you did.
I thought it was super cute.
Y'all, this is the person that comes over with her ass out and everything out at my house. So she loves it. Okay. I'll be like, this is a kid's party. When I tell her it's family day, she'd be like, it is family. I only have one cheek out. That's Nell's. So
you gotta tell me to wear sweats and a t-shirt.
That just giving you a spectrum of what's okay, what's deemed acceptable.
Listen, we got one life to live, okay? At some point, you're gonna be wearing muumuus.
No.
Listen, You better let it hang out while you can, okay?
You funny. So then they get into what Tisha had to say about Stormy, and she lets her know that Tisha said that she acts one way and then acts another. Over to the Scott Sprinter, and Tisha reads a text that she got from Stormy inviting her to the lovers and friends party. Both Tisha and Marceau think that this is super weird, since the last time they were all together was at the reunion, and they were basically screaming at each other, and Marceau implies that this might be natural for Stormy. I love how you use that word, because I was like, oh, you using it against her again. But he's like, I don't move like that. So and then we go back, and Courtney makes it clear that he doesn't rock with anybody but Chris and Martell. He says he can't rock with Maurice based on how he treated his wife while she was going
through chemo, yeah.
And Stormy was like, thank you, baby.
Because I think Stormy was like, well, what about Maurice? And he said, absolutely not.
He said, not after how he treated his wife while she was going through chemo. And I love how Stormy was like, oh, but because I feel like that would be me a conversation. And I was like, you're a better man than I thought you were. And I also shout out to Courtney. I also think it takes a very big man. We see in prime example what we're going to see next episode. It's so easy for men to support other men, even when they're wrong as hell, and not call them out. And I can appreciate Courtney being man enough to be like, I don't respect that. I don't think that's cool. And I'm going to speak it out loud. And I don't care if these don't like it. I'm going to say how I feel about the situation. And I really appreciated Courtney for that, being brutally honest. Like, Stormy, you got you a good one. You got you. She know, but she got her a good one. And shout out to Stormy for getting 1 million sales on TikTok. First time ever happened in TikTok history before they hopefully, shut the app down. So, girl, do your thing.
Listen.
Look, now I see Mel on there selling 7th Avenue. And I said, well. And there's room.
Remember, Tisha was talking shit about her selling on TikTok.
But this is the same person that went and took her bottles and her bye. Tisha can't say nothing. Be quiet. Go ahead.
So at the party, of course, Lexi was the topic of discussion. While like whether she was coming or not, basically like she should be there to support. Her family basically said, they both parties got to be willing to set aside their differences, come together, and they just ain't there right now. Mel got there looking super cute. Tisha tried to take off her sunglasses and bring up how she wasn't really feeling Marceau. And Mel is like, girl, first of all, leave my glasses alone.
Don't touch me.
Exactly. I don't know where you at, but I'm at a club. Let me rock on with my bad self, okay?
Okay. Where you gonna rock on with your bad self? Yes. And Mel, I was feeling the hair, girl.
I love her with the short hair. I really, really do. And basically, she said that she'll address it at another time. She don't want no negativity at her girl's birthday party, okay? Then
that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Tisha didn't get the memo.
Because again, Tisha was looking for a moment.
So there was definitely an energy shift when Stormy got there, but I believe it was on Tisha's end.
Oh yeah, Tisha was like, she was real gas facing.
She even made a comment about how Nell was late to her own party. And everybody like, girl, it's her party. The hell? But Nell came through, turned the hell up. Mel said that she looked like she was 20. Tisha
said maybe about 30.
I'd have been like, oh, so then I look younger than you.
I feel like, and you know what's so funny in that scene? I feel like that would have been one of the moments that if somebody that I was at my birthday celebration said that, I might not have addressed it, but you would have addressed it.
I definitely would have addressed it.
All right. I was sitting there and I was like, Chanel would have never let that shit slide. I was like,
I wanted to address it for now.
What'd you say?
I said I wanted to address it for now.
Right. Because I felt the
Oh,
same way. I was like, what's the point? She looked good for her age. She don't look her age. Like,
it literally as soon as I would have been like, oh, so, oh, you saying she look younger than you? Because you don't look 30, boo. Hell. So basically, Mel said all these drinks that Tisha throwing back, she's in danger of becoming Wanda Jr. I said, if she ain't never told no lie. Now, apparently, yes, Trisha is related to Chris. Um, she says that both of her parents passed 7 months apart. And that's what really motivated her to become a trainer because she wanted to be alive at 55. Then of course she starts spilling all her marriage tea, and the guys are getting in homeboy Ken's ass about this too. Maurice basically tells him if she wanted to be free, she could be free, especially within 5 years.
go ahead and free yourself.
He said just because he don't. Oh, I'm sorry. He said just because this dude don't want to sign the paperwork don't mean that she got to stay in a marriage. It don't mean she can't be free. You might need to reevaluate, sir, your situation. Okay. Then Tisha starts talking about how Nell is feisty. Nell asked for some clarification. Me? What the hell made me feisty? Girl, you don't think you fight? No. They was both like, Mel and Nell was like, girl,
What
you
you
was
doing
feisty.
right now is feisty.
That's feisty, honey. That's feisty.
That
So
liquid courage, she was looking for a moment.
then she said, oh, I'm going to call you Linnell because you and Mel's name is so close. She said, it's just Nell. They went back and forth about what the girl name is. So Nell basically saw her she was doing too much. And she said, and I can. And so can you. It's your birthday. Do the most. Ma'am, you gotta go. Your drunk ass gotta get the hell up out my party because if you keep on talking, you gonna say something that me smack shit out your ass. You gonna have to get the hell out.
So I'm gonna make this the thumbnail of this video because I love this. This is Kimmy and Mel's face reacting to Tisha. This is Kimmy and
I think
Mel.
she said when Tisha get too tired, she is Latisha.
La Tisha.
Yes, she did. She said Latisha. Um, so Nell is trying to figure out what happened. She was like, I thought we was good. What happened to all this energy? Like, yeah, we'll talk about this later. She's like, I didn't even know there was nothing to talk about. So then Stormy's like, well, that's weird that you got all this energy for her and she don't even know what the hell's going on. Teacher said, no. What's weird is you sending me an invitation. We ain't even talked since the reunion. Child, Stormy said, girl, I don't know what you got going on, but you done came in here with you the one with all this energy. Okay. And basically she said, I want to know what you meant by that. What you meant by me popping pills? That's really where it came from. What you meant by me? Teacher said she said I said what I said. Yeah. You heard me. I said that. I think it was the reaction to that. That was the reaction to that.
No, well, it might have been. I feel like their faces was like that this whole time. They was like
they was just watching.
And of course, and it's so funny because we, as we know, if you watched it back, and these are the people that have been around her when Tisha has gotten toasted, and they know she's doing too much, and they were just both sitting back like, "Oh, Tisha is in rare form." And then as we see next episode, even her own husband calls her out about her behavior. Now it's messed up. I don't, you know what?
You don't have to call me out about everything. You said you think I call you out about everything? You said you think the times I call you out was your only mistake. That's my stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know y'all ain't gonna agree in the comments, and y'all can feel how y'all feel.
Have a man with a mouth that fresh. We will be fighting for real.
Now that I'm a shady bitch, and Nels can tell you, my dude was never nowhere near as shady. And now, well, that's why I can understand. Like, he shut her down, and the problem is, I would have had a rebuttal. Tisha didn't have a rebuttal. That's why she was hurt. I would have had a rebuttal. Like, oh, let's not act like when you do da 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 da. And I would have had a rebuttal. But Tisha didn't have a rebuttal because again, she was sober now, and this is not. And yeah, And I mean, I guess this is supposed to make for great TV, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, based off of what we said last review, we thought this was gonna be a great episode. And can I tell y'all, this episode got the lowest ratings of the whole season. It's been going down, 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 down. I think it was shout out to Millie Chan, it was 238,000. I think the one before that was 245,000. Do y'all understand when Love and Marriage?
That's even a big difference. Jeez.
Right. Do y'all understand when Love and Marriage Huntsville came on? They were like getting 1 million viewers an episode.
Girl, I used to love it back then.
And Marcel, I ain't got no issues with you. But you was the one that went and made the video talking about, oh, how dare the millimeters think you can destroy a show? Who are you? Da 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 da. Baby, I think you better give the millimeters an apology, or you're gonna be off TV in a second. That's all I'm saying.
And Mel will have her own damn show. The
Because
millimeters watching her.
Because clearly, this blackout is serious. These people are not watching y'all like y'all thought y'all was watching, like they was watching y'all. And I think that you thought it got bigger. Oh, da da da, it's millimeters and da da da. I think to save your job and save this extra check, I understand you make money, sir. But I think you might want to humble yourself and go back and apologize, because I don't know who's blacking it out, but people are not watching. And not to mention, let's just keep it 100. The people that are watching, we're bored. So,
and I'm sure there's still and the millimeters, regardless whether they were watching or not, still support her. So she's still making her.
Right. Y'all needed that support. Y'all needed them to keep coming back to the show. So, I don't know, y'all. I really feel like, I don't want to say this might be our last season, but like, I really feel like it's on a decline. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thank God our girl didn't get caught by the 7M cult. Y'all make sure y'all but yeah.
I'm not out here dancing for the devil.
I love that. What is the girl on TikTok? I love her. Big Teasers. I love her. She was like, y'all just dancing. I love her. But anyway, if y'all haven't already, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And y'all, YouTube has been acting kind of crazy lately. So I feel like if you feel like you're unsubscribed, go ahead and make sure you resubscribe and hit the notification bell, because I've heard that going on with a lot of content creators now. And we just want to make sure we don't lose y'all in the sauce of everything. But yeah, make sure, because it's just been a lot of funky things going on. And no shade to YouTube, don't cancel our video or nothing. But I can't help to see what I see. And
I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say something.
Oh, but I'm just saying I can't help but see what I see. And so y'all just make sure, don't unsubscribe, but you know what I'm saying, just make sure you still subscribe and you got your notification bells on, so you know when we're coming through. And yeah, y'all, we will catch y'all next week for hopefully a better episode than what this was.
But don't get your hopes up.
Huh?
I said, but don't get your hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up. But yeah, y'all. So y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you next week.
Good night. Bye-bye.